Wolverine vs. Blade issue 1 heads back in time where, in Madripoor, Wolverine and Blade fight a vampire cult, slicing through them as Blade wonders why Logan is at the vampiric temple. Logan says that he's giving them some payback since they kidnapped a friend's daughter and sacrificed her in some ritual. Blade says the cult calls themselves the Creed, but Logan doesn't care since they all cut up the same. Wolverine kills all the vampires in a bloody whirlwind, and in the aftermath, Blade says Wolverine should stay since he's going to burn the place down, and he's brought marshmallows. 6 months later in New York, Wolverine fights Dragoness, a target X-Force has sent him after since she's been killing mutants and humans alike. Dragoness is killed when Logan drops her out of a building construction site and onto a spike, causing her to burst into dust. Logan is surprised since it means that someone turned her into a vampire. He smells something and follows the scent to a strange skull-adorned box, which he recognizes from the temple 6 months prior, knowing the Creed are back. In Germany, Blade is doing what he does best, hunting a deadly vampire who surprises the hunter with heat vision. The vampire gets the upper hand on Blade, but he is ready, using an explosive to blow the tower they are on. The vampire becomes trapped by some rubble, and as he puts his coat on, Blade says that he will leave the vampire there until daylight. That is, unless he tells him where he got the superpowers from. Then he might help him. Blade thinks that the Creed are behind it thanks to the tattoo the vampire has on his chest, and the vampire says he didn't stop them and that they knew he was coming. The vampire won't say anything to Blade, so Blade leaves him in the sun. Back in New York, Logan has taken the box to Doctor Strange, who says it's sealed with some very strong magic that is already infecting the Sanctum's aura. Steven knows the magic to be vampiric in origin and tells Logan he knows of the Creed and the god they worship, Varkis, which in their prophecy is said to unite all 3 vampire houses. Logan wants to keep that from happening as Steven says that the box is possibly the vessel for the Kandra, the scroll that holds the secret that can kill Varkis. Steven opens the box with his magic, revealing the pictogram scroll that depicts 2 warriors who look strikingly similar to Blade and Logan, fighting one another. Blade meanwhile interrogates a vampire familiar, wanting to know more about the Creed and why they are back, and why Desmond led him to a vampire who had superpowers. Desmond says he didn't tell Blade about the vampire with powers because it was just a rumor when he heard about it and didn't think anything of it. He tells Blade that the vampire was born with the powers and that he was a mutant before he was turned to a vampire, since the Creed think some guy named Varkis, the Messiah, is a mutant, and they have been turning mutants left, right and center to try and find Varkis. In Belize, Logan finds himself in the middle of the jungle thanks to Strange's teleportation spell that can locate what he is searching for. He knows he needs to kill Blade to stop the Creed, but at the same time, Blade watches him, knowing he will need to kill Wolverine in order to stop the Creed. They both move into the temple where they attack one another, thinking each is the Creed's Messiah. Their battle is bloody and long until Blade uses an anti-vampire weapon on Wolverine, who wonders why he would use such a weapon that can only kill vampires on him. Blade thinks that Wolverine is a vampire now, and both tell each other that they thought each of them was Varkis. Logan reveals the pictogram that shows them fighting, and Blade says that one of them is meant to be Varkis as the vampire Messiah arrives and looks exactly like Wolverine. Varkis grows his bone claws, saying that he is a magical clone of Wolverine, remade from a part of the mutant that the Creed carved off of him 6 months prior. The Creed cult members arrive, so Blade and Wolverine fight them and Varkis as well. Logan knows that Blade is destined to kill Varkis, so Logan takes on the cult members as Blade fights Varkis, cutting his bone claws off and stabbing him, killing the Messiah. He doesn't stay dead for long, however, coming back to life thanks to Logan's healing factor. Blade doesn't care for some prophecy where he's got to kill a vampire, but he needs Logan's help, so they both battle the vampire god. While they battle him, Blade says that maybe this was what the pictogram was showing, and it wasn't how Varkis meets his end, and Logan knows it was some type of instructional manual, meaning both he and Blade need to kill him. They surround the villain and attack him together, cutting his head and torso, finally killing him for good. Leaving the temple, Blade blows it up for good as Logan asks him if this time he brought marshmallows, but Blade forgot this time. Wolverine vs. Blade issue 1 was a pretty fun, oddly well drawn book for what is really a quick one-shot book. I did enjoy seeing Logan and Blade teaming up and getting all bloody and mature. I think that's really cool, and they need to team up a bit more. I'd like a little mini series like this running. I think that'd be really cool. The art by Dave Wilkins was super nice and totally different than what I'm expecting from these quickly made Marvel one-shot books, although it kind of makes sense when you figure out Mark Guggenheim has been trying to tell this story for about 10 years, so it definitely feels like a late 2000s book as well, which isn't a bad thing. It's got that kind of era charm to it. I'd love to see more of this type of work, but I'm happy with the fun story we got here. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.